Hey there, it's One Boom, and I did one of these videos a while back and it did pretty well, so I thought why not do it again and capitalize on something that everybody loves to watch, and these are never watched by the people that have such misconceptions. Yes, that's right, this is top 5 misconceptions about FPS games. Let's get in with number 1, these are in no specific order. Number 1, every first-person shooter is the same. People that are not a fan of the FPS genre seem to believe that every one of them are exactly the same. COD, Halo, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, Combat Arms, there's no difference between any of these shooters. They are all the same. Some people believe this because, I don't know, they grew up during a time where every first-person shooter was basically a Wolfenstein or Doom clone, and every online shooter was basically Counter-Strike clones. But this is obviously such a outrageous misconception that all shooters are the same. I guarantee you, if you play Halo Combat Evolved, Half-Life 2, and Bioshock 1, you'd be hard-pressed to say they're all the same. I guess the people that don't engage in the genre just look at trailers and clips and they just think, well, that Battlefield looks a lot like the latest Call of Duty, and that Halo looks a lot like the latest Doom. People get more in depth and they go beyond just the setting and tone and they go, well, all the mechanics are the same. Well, this is something that I always find to be quite fascinating. People say that every first-person shooter is the same, but what about every real-time strategy game or MOBA? How about racing games? How about fighting games? How about side-scrollers? What about rhythm games? It's really hard to look at all these games and say they don't have similarities, but to say they're all the same is outrageous. No, Rock Band and Guitar Hero are not the same, Forza and Need for Speed are not the same, and Mortal Kombat and Marvel vs. Capcom are not the same. But again, from an outsider perspective, they might think so. That one might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many times I've heard somebody say that all shooters are basically the same. Misconception number 2. People that play FPS games are meatheads. Oh, you like games where you just shoot things and blow things up and kill things? You're just easily entertained by blood and gore. You're just a dumbass. This is something I've been told by RTS players, MOBA players, and even people that just sit on the toilet and play mobile games. I've heard people sit around a table reviewing a game talking about how first-person shooter players wouldn't like this, there's not enough explosions in it. It usually comes back around more specifically to Call of Duty fans just being easily turned on by explosions and visual stimulants. But summing up a whole group of people like that is dumb no matter what the case. All Trump supporters are racist, and all liberals want things for free. That's not the case, it's clearly not the case. There's too many variables in this world to summarize things like this, and if somebody is, you can pretty much completely dismiss them or come back at them with this. Find out what type of game they play and go, oh, you like fighting games? That's just mashing buttons. That's just punching people over and over. You must be really easily entertained by two people on a screen punching each other. Oh, you like racing games? You just like seeing fast cars go around a track and seeing if your car can be in front of a different car? It's easy to nutshell and summarize games, and it's really easy to nutshell and summarize the gamers that play them. This one's not just dumb because of gaming and first-person shooter players, this one's dumb in no matter what case you put it in. You don't get to take such a general group of people that play FPS games, people that voted for this person, people that enjoy this on their burgers. You don't get to take that and be like, oh, well, that is how you are. I know you drive that car, I know everything about your personality, right off the bat. The third misconception is that first-person shooter games take no strategy. This is the one I hear the most often, is that first-person shooters take no strategy. You know when somebody's never done something, but they feel the need to share their opinion on it anyway? The people that say this are people that don't think about the games that they play. Maybe they just play Call of Duty Team Deathmatch, or maybe they just play Counter-Strike Casual. But if you think there's no strategy, no meta, no deeper understanding required for proficiency in a first-person shooter, well, you're wrong. There's no other way to put it, I have nothing funny to say, you're just wrong. Every game has a meta, every game has different strategies you can use to beat your opponents, or beat the AI that you're fighting. There are strategies you can implement into Bioshock Infinite, just like you can implement strategies into Battlefield 4 or even Call of Duty. And the people that think that's not the case have never done it. And at the risk of sounding really rude, they either haven't done it or aren't capable of doing it. And the people that I hear usually saying this kind of stuff are the people that are usually towards the bottom of the scoreboard in most of the games I've played with them. There are strategies, you just gotta learn them. Here's one that's bound to piss off people. Number 4. FPS games are better on PC. Now you could argue almost most games are better on PC. Let's not talk about optimization or just specific titles, but you could argue that most games are better on PC. But the whole idea that first-person shooters are just better with keyboard and mouse has never made any sense to me. Again, PC players, I'm not talking about graphics, I'm not talking about frame rate, I'm talking about just the act of playing a shooter. You know, one of the things you can't do on PC unless you do end up plugging a controller into your computer, in which again kind of negates the whole purpose of playing on PC, in my opinion at least. You can't do any finite movements. This is something that I've brought up to a lot of people. You can't do finite character movements because of the nature of the WASD keys. And seeing how controllers have dead zones and a lot of PC games don't offer aim assist, if you want to go ahead and plug in a controller in and be like, I just use a controller, then enjoy that dead zone because you're going to start noticing it. And if you play with a controller and you're ignoring the dead zone, I'm going to bring this up, it's there. And if the moment you notice it, you'll never unnotice it. And I'm speaking, of course, as a person who played a lot of PC games with a wireless controller. I did it until my friend talked about dead zones, and I was like, whatever. And then I noticed it one day while playing Battlefield, and it was all over. Do you have more precision with a mouse? Yes, but you do also have less precision with a keyboard. Can first-person shooters benefit from the extra buttons on a keyboard? Of course. But do first-person shooters also prosper on consoles because of the more condensed game collections, usually equaling larger player bases on certain games? One very small example would be people telling me I'll never find a server on Battlefield Hardline, and I'm like, no, I'll never find a server on Battlefield Hardline if I was playing on a PC. I'll stop triggering PC players. I know they get easily triggered and they're really easy to start writing nasty comments towards me. So I'll just let you know, I have a gaming capable computer, okay? I just prefer my console. And PCs run games better, okay? Just close your eyes and pretend I'm petting your back right now. PC games run better. They're faster than those stupid consoles. Yes. Good. PC good. Yes. Okay. Now we can move on with the video. We only have a couple of minutes until they wake up, okay? When they do, they're gonna write nasty comments that, challenge my self-confidence, but either way. Last misconception. Blank shooter is better. No, it's not. Whatever shooter you think is better is not. And I don't mean in terms of which one you like better. But I mean, if you're gonna come to people and talk about how Battlefront 2 was the best shooter ever, no, GoldenEye was the best shooter ever, no, it was Counter-Strike 1.6, no, it was Doom 2, best shooter ever, no, it was Modern Warfare, no, it was Modern Warfare 2. The misconception we all have is that there's just this better game out there, and we just hope that the next first-person shooter comes along and fills the hole that one left when it died. I can't wait for the next Call of Duty that makes me feel like I'm playing an old Call of Duty again. Oh, I can't wait for the next Battlefield that makes me feel like I'm playing an old Battlefield. Oh, I can't wait for the next Battlefront. I hope it makes me feel like I'm playing Battlefront 2 again. Oh, I hope this game gives me the feelings of this other game. Oh, I liked this game so much, and instead of playing it, I'm going to complain that all these other games just don't compare. Again, you can like a game better than another game. You can find one that's better for you to play. You can find one with better maps. You can find one with a better story. But keep in mind that shit's subjective, and no other shooter will fill the void of the shooter you're waiting to feel again. And that's how I'm gonna end this video. We feel shooters. Shooters immerse us in ways that other games don't. They puts us in the viewpoint of the character. We feel like we're getting shot at. We feel like we're dominating the other team. There's something personal about it. I'm not saying you don't get that in other games, but my god, I think when we look at competitive games and we look at story-based games, no game gives us that personal attachment. No game puts us in the driver's seat as much as a first-person shooter. Whether you're playing an in-depth story game or competing against real players in an online arena, nothing nothing puts you closer to the action than an FPS. That's why I love them, and I want to know why you love first-person shooters down in the comment section below, and I also want you to tell me some horrible misconceptions you've heard about FPS games. I had trouble making this list because it was kind of a hard thing for me to think about. This video maybe didn't need to be 10 minutes long, but I wanted to cover each thing with a certain level of detail, so I didn't just go, this misconception's this misconception's this, hey, thanks for watching. So anyway, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe if you haven't already, of course. Maybe you already have. And if you don't want to subscribe, you can feel free to back out of this video. And then when you want to watch me again, just type in the one boom and I'll show up. But it might save you some time to subscribe if you want to see more of my shit. Anyway, I'll see you when I see ya. Yep, goodbye! If you did not agree with everything in this video, please write to us at P.O. Box Go Fuck Yourself. We hope to see you there.